Well, folks, welcome back. It's time for Game 2 of this best of 3. The Summit 3 SEA Phase 2 continues right now. It's Arcanys taking on mvp.ph. mvp.ph looking dominant. They jumped out to the early 1-0 lead, and with that said, our draft is well underway for Game 2, so we're just going to go ahead and jump on into it.
Alrighty. So, Arcanys have their work cut out for them here. mvp.ph, they found comfort in these jungle heroes, something they didn't traditionally run with their old roster, but a bit more versatility with Nuts now playing that jungle role for the team. They brought in Febby as well as K Phoenix from the Australian team, and Arcanys, a bit of an upcoming squad, but well, down 1-0.
Yeah, they just got kind of run over in Game 1 more than anything. We'll see how the draft adjusts from here. Running quickly through Arcanys with the first overall pick, Chen. And I do feel like that was a big difference maker in that game, number 1. Really slowed down the Tinker, helped the Queen of Pain snowball, and then in the mid-game we saw the Golem helping them break the base with the bonus HP for the whole team. The Hand of Gods were really useful. The hero had a big impact, so they'll take it away, but mvp.ph were ready for this. They quickly snap up their own jungler in the Enigma, and now back it up with the Troll. Basically just trying to take these heroes that, well, Arcanys were unable to get anything done with. Try to show them how it's done. You can have the Chen, but that's okay. We'll show you how to use Troll even better, is the plan here. Now Arcanys banning out the Abaddon. An interesting ban. Not a hero that we normally see banned out too much.
The counter to the offlane Morphling. I think this is an offlane Morphling from Arcanys. Or at least it's like a strength-based Morphling, maybe in a support role. But I think they run this as an offlaner, and that's where a lot of these bans kind of fit in. The Abaddon purges off the stun, and then on the MVP side, they're banning out the heroes that follow up that 4.25 second stun with a lot of damage. Queen of Pain as well as Skywrath both synergize very well with that high stun duration of the Morphling stun, and also just throw damage from a safe distance, because it pushes heroes back with that long stun, so a hero like Skywrath who can throw a long-range Mystic Flare fits really nicely. Yeah, so we'll see if Arcanys change their approach here, but I feel like this was intended to be an offlane Morphling.
There aren't too many other heroes that... I guess there's like a Lion, but he doesn't normally need the Morphling stun to set up his Finger of Death. The other option is that Mirana for the super long chain stun, but then you start to like damage if you're Arcanys, especially with the support Rubik.
Like Invoker's okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they even just changed the approach for the draft to make it a core Morphling. There's not really much proper lockdown for a core Morphling, to be honest.
So, got the Rubik as a hero as far as... I mean, you got the Enigma Black Hole to steal. It's not necessarily a counter to the Enigma, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to cancel the Black Hole at the same time. Sealing it alone is not going to win you a fight, well, it could, but you want to also have an answer to the... You want to be able to stop a BKB Black Hole, which they currently don't really have a... Well, I guess they can get a Chen and Snare Creep, but that's always not a guarantee. So they pick up the TA for the time being. That's some good burst damage, especially if you get something like a Blink Dagger, you can follow up that Morph stun. I keep saying this, though. It could still well be that safe lane farming Morph.
Yeah, I feel like they may decide just to adjust their game plan, since both of those heroes that synergize really well. I mean, the Skywrath is just like the hero that's perfect with the Morphling well, not support, the strength Morphling. Yeah. The strength lane is, I think, is the way to put it. But we'll see. Still 2 more picks to go here. Templar Assassin will struggle a bit this game, though, as a pick, to be honest. It's not an easy TA game. You've got the Troll Blind, Enigma with the Eidolons, Maledict. The Cogs in particular can really throw a wrench into the TA's plans, and even the Death Ward can punish that hero pretty severely. I'm honestly surprised about the TA pick. I don't feel like it's the best TA game.
Yeah, I think
Look at this, though, the Phantom Lancer ban. We did see this hero in the America qualifiers. Well, we didn't really I didn't get to watch the game that much, but he was picked up in Phase 1 in our final match of the day. Looked like he actually did pretty well. Was one for that, like, treads, drums. I think it was a Yasha Diffusal, or maybe Diffusal Yasha. Started off farming a lot, and then kind of moved into that fighting constantly type of style.
No PL today, unfortunately. So mvp.ph most likely looking at a mid lane. Troll could do okay against the TA mid, and you can even kind of dual lane it with the Witch Doctor. Get a self-sufficient safe lane farmer of some sort, but other opportunities to get some kind of a mid laner for QO, saying it can match up okay versus TA. your Venomancer, your Viper, but Naga Siren going to be
Yuck.
the carry du jour.
I'm not sure what the pick is here. As far as big bursty heroes, if they want to run that Morphling offlane.
Do you anti-mage?
Yeah.
You see the Naga, like that's like what some teams like your Cloud9s would do. Like, you guys want a Naga? We're going to anti-mage. That's the answer.
It's not a great anti-mage game. It's not a totally awful one in the sense that they can't really gank him, but I feel like MVP, if they see an anti-mage pick, they can hold their towers really well. They've got that Song into Black Hole combination, as well as the Death Ward to follow everything up. And they also push hard. They go later than an anti-mage, I would say.
I guess the other option is Arcanys may look to use the Chen to push down a lot of towers, take objectives, get something like a Luna as a carry.
Yeah, I feel like that Luna, maybe even a Drow. It is 5 ranged heroes, technically.
Yeah.
But I think it's a mistake to try and just turn this into like a who's got the hardest carry game. It doesn't look like there's one carry that can just deal with what MVP is throwing Arcanys' way. And the supporting cast, again, it's a Enigma Witch Doctor, like 2 of the best late game supports if it comes to that.
They don't want to go late game. I guess if they got a Luna or Drow, they'd be looking to end the game around that 25-minute stage of the game where Naga's just got a Radiance, maybe has a Boots of Travel, but has no items on top of that and can't really fight using those illusions without them getting instantly KO'd. So
it's still tough if you want to go for that Drow, though, just because of this Clockwork pick.
Yeah.
One of the best gap closers in the business. I don't know. I feel like MVP has drafted exceptionally well this game. The X Factor could be the Rubik Chen. These 2 as a support duo. With the new and improved Chen, if you get 2 good creeps, you have that Rubik lift to set it up. Can find some early kills. Maybe they snowball the TA.
And Rubik does fit that secondary purpose of at least being able to somewhat handle a Clockwork hookshot in where you can pull him out of his cogs and at least negate the battery assault damage and the stun lockdown that provides. But
I guess another option here is maybe even like an Ember Spirit, a hero that can just kind of take over. No, they want a Gyrocopter. Is a BKB carrier, which will probably help him stand and just fight against MVP, but a good tower defending carry.
Has some follow-up damage for the Morphling stun, I guess, on top of that. It's not huge damage, it's not your Skywrath, not your Queen of Pain, but
it can help that homing missile kind of close in.
And even the cooldown, hitting that twice, that's a big slow. That's, what, 90% slow if you stack both slows, and, well,
it still feels like MVP is the much more solid draft overall.
I completely agree there. This Morphling can solve a tough time in the offlane, Witch Doctor can go likely into some kind of a Maledict build once more and look to put a lot of pressure on there. Bok is headed down bottom lane with a ward looking to get some vision in.
Well, they've seen him, he's seen them.
Yep.
There will be no ward here. Has skilled the waveform level 1, but do imagine a lot of strength will be coming out once he hits level 2. If he feels like he's in any danger. And with that said, we'll run through the lineups quickly. Again, MVP Phoenix leading 1-0 in the best of 3. We'll start with them. You've got Febby, or Ace of Spades, as he apparently wants to be called now, on the Enigma. Looks like he's headed to the offlane. K-Phoenix going to be going mid as your Naga. Nuts on the Witch Doctor. It's March playing the Clockwork. And it's QO on the Troll in the safe lane. As for Arcanys, the offlane Strength Morphling will be Bok. Boomback's going to be on the Chen this time around. Heinrich on the TA. Mighty Savior playing the Gyrocopter. And that does leave Dabe on the Rubik.
So we're going to see how the Morphling does here. He's going to put a bit of pressure here in the offlane. They may actually give him a kind of semi 1v1, which is not exactly good for a Strength Morphling who's not going to... Well, he doesn't go Strength early on. He's going to start with a waveform, and if he gets a 1v1, he probably waits a lot longer before he transitions into that Strength Morphling. But Witch Doctor's headed back bottom. Nuts actually picked up some Sentry Wards along the way, and... Well, I don't think he got vision of where Arcanys put that Observer Ward in the offlane, so won't be able to get that fast D-Ward.
Yeah, even if it is a 1v1, though, you're 1v1 against Troll. That's not an easy matchup by any means. Did start with the double rate of protection, so would be able to trade blows reasonably well early on. But already you can see the Troll with 7 armor when he's sitting around in his Berserker's range.
Some of these other lanes, we're going to have a Clockwork in the offlane against a Gyrocopter supported by a Rubik. You're going to stay away from that Rocket Barrage, but Cogs can always kind of help you out there. But it's still a dangerous lane to be a Clockwork.
I'm not sure why you go for Flak at level 1 here. This is not going to help you CS. Doesn't really help you push the lane. We used to see the flak early, like try on try, just so that you can kind of harass the enemy supports occasionally, but obviously that's not the case here. I think you just want to be leveling up the homing missile and the rocket barrage. It's only 1 point for now. We'll see if he wants to level it up.
A bit of harass, and with the pulls going on, he has more creeps coming at him, so I guess he wants some ways of keeping the lane not under his tower too much, but seems to be farming at least decently, and at the same time Clockwork already getting level 2, getting a decent amount of his offlane block, still level 1, although he's just 5 XP, pretty much at the same state as the Clockwork, but seems Clockwork's going to have a more comfortable time in his offlane.
Yeah, Bach's already just been forced back. He's used a waveform. He's got one more before he's going to have to head back to base. Really hoping for that value regen rune, but Nuts is in position maybe to stop him from getting it. Maledict comes out. He's not even going to get the bounty rune. Oh, this is bad for Bach. He doesn't have strength morph. Can he Roche deny? This will be first blood. Doesn't even get there. And of all heroes, it's the Enigma who grabs it. Well, off to a great start here. That's your Soul Ring. He can pick up the boots next if he wants it. So TPN immediately forced to wave on back. Does get that little bit of fountain regen after the TP, but still, he'll have one more waveform, and once again, he's going to be out. Not having a good time here, bottom.
Yeah, so far, this is probably the weakest point, and probably one of the, the biggest weak points of the offlane morphling is the laning stage. You kind of can really struggle there. You don't quite have the mana pool to use too many waveforms. You have 2 waveforms, and that's with the double branch build, and yeah, we're not seeing this offlane morphling really have the best luck so far. But it is still a hero that he doesn't really play as like a 3-position farmer. I feel like this hero works best when you have a farming support. In this case, it's going to be the Chen, because once he comes online with levels, he's just going around looking to set up ganks. He's not a flash farmer. He can't farm stacks, really. Waveform just doesn't really do enough, and it's a hero that's always looking to kill and fight, and that's where you want one of your supports to be actually farming.
And you'd like to have a hero that can run around with you getting those kills, and the main one that can is probably the Gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Maybe the TA, I suppose. TA
like
appreciates when heroes can't really move. Makes it easier for her to get those meld strikes off, but generally you have the traps for that anyway. We'll see how well it works, but it's going to be a real test for the offlane morphling. Gives up a first blood, and just doesn't have those kind of classic partners. As March will take some harass here top lane. They have a Fade Bolt, not enough for the kill yet. Going to need 1, maybe 2 more auto attacks. It's close. It's not good enough. There is no mana for a homing missile. Boomback's too late to the party. March.
Got it soon.
Gets the cogs off. Homing missile. Well, doesn't look like it's going to make it there.
Deny yourself, March. Deny yourself. Okay.
And he buys his TP and back to the base.
Yeah. Smart play from March. That homing missile is going to finish him off there. Good play by Gyro, just clarity up, knowing that you just need to keep vision to use that homing missile to secure that kill, but ultimately couldn't actually get him before the deny came in. But still, Clockwork did lose some gold. He bought the TP, but he didn't actually. I think he had like 200 or so gold, which he actually lost on top of that.
Yeah, could have gone for the triple TP, I suppose.
the Bone 7 play. Suddenly it's like 15 minutes in and he's got 7 TPs scrolls.
Yeah. But no lost reliable gold, so value. Boomback's off in the woods. It's been a very quiet showing from your Chen so far. K-Phoenix, I think he's taken I don't think he's taken too much harassment. Mostly just been getting out CS'd here by Heinrich. He might have sent a creep or 2 his way, but for the most part, been focused on his own personal farm. He's now level 5 at 5 minutes, off to a very hot start here. Bassi coming out, Smoke also coming out. May look to make his move as Bach. His moves are just walking back. MVP continue to bully him out of this bottom lane. The Axe is going to push the wave. QO taking some tower pot shots, but
he can't go near to draw aggro as well. He's too low in HP. He has a waveform, but this is a tower possibly going down. QO with the Bassi, and yeah, they're just going to zone him out. He's unlikely to die unless he really messes up. But
there's your adaptive from Bach, then a waveform on back. But Ace of Spades is here as well. Goes for the Malefice cast, barely missing it. In the meantime, they lose the Clockwork top lane. But the tower push is a little bit slower here already. MVP zeroing in on a tier 2, and Morphling is just not adept at de-pushing at this stage. The Eidolons stacking up. They want to get the secondary spawn here if they can before they disappear. And with the double set of conversions, it looks like they may get a 2-for-1 tower trade, GoDz.
And Clockwork actually okay at dealing with this push. He can go in, has the cogs defensively, can draw the aggro using the rocket flare. So he's delayed this push even after respawning, and Well, this is problematic. Arcanys, this offlane Morphling.
They're just going to keep on trucking.
I saw a ping onto the high ground. I was like, are they joking? Are they actually going for this? Sure, why not? QO's got ultimate. He's got battle trance. You got a TP back. Someone's going to defend. Rubik rocks up with a Fade Bolt. That's something, but... Okay, they'll see the Rubik, deny a siege creep, and yeah, they'll back off now. But they forced just a TP. They didn't... All it cost them was an extra 170 mana from your Enigma using an Eidolons, and they get a TP from top lane to bottom, freeze up top lane from March so that he can guarantee his level 6 now, knowing that Rubik's not going to re-engage on him.
Uh-oh, Courier! Almost going down to the angry Dark Troll Summoner.
That's a stray one. I guess the Naga illusions woke it up.
Yeah, he's just a feisty fella. Gonna throw out the Riptide here for K Phoenix, who is up to 800 gold. He's got all the basics. Relic should be the next pit stop, and they also have their mech coming very soon for this Radiant team. As for the Chen, sitting on 29 CS. Let's see, Boomax has to have something else here. Is that really all he's got? He's been buying all the wards, I guess.
Yeah, he's going full support mode, which is, I feel...
Well, Dave bought one.
Suboptimal, yeah. Dave's got boots. He's got a couple hundred gold. I think it's been
one extra tower as well as like 10 extra creeps. Oh, nuts.
Dang, DD.
This is a quick takedown here. And it may set up a Roshan attempt for Arcanys. This could be big. There's no hook shot yet. March desperately needs his level 6. He's trying frantically to get a top lane, but it seems it may be too slow with a DDTA. They're going to quickly deal with this Roshan.
Get vision from the Rocket Flare.
Rocket comes in. QO's in the neighborhood. They do pick up the urn. Level 6 is coming. They're starting to converge, QO. Could throw out that range slow. Troll Trap coming out. Dave trying to lift him. Toss him back on the cliff. No, it's an up and down throw. The Rosh not dead yet. They're a little bit indecisive, starting to leave that Roshan as K Phoenix struts in. Can't actually steal yet. They're going to need the black hole here to connect. Ace of Spades. They go for the last hit. They actually get the Roshan time. Age is picked up by the Troll Warlord. And MVP Phoenix looking to completely turn this fight. Now going for Boombacks. The bash is coming out. Not quite enough to get the kill just yet. Oh, hookshot going to miss from March. Will have to waddle his way into the fight while Boombacks is chased to the end of the earth. Maybe a neutral deny. He'll summon the Centaur to his side. The stop's there. Too late. Down he goes. K Phoenix now on the run. The Age is still sitting on that troll as Heinrich tries to run him down. Has no more ultimate. In the meantime, they'll lose 2 heroes down in the river. K Phoenix going to make the big wraparound, end up escaping. And when the dust settles, the Templar Assassin forced to walk herself out of here. 3 heroes dead. Roche stolen. A massive swing of momentum in favor of MVP Phoenix. Make it a 7.5k gold lead, a 5k experience lead. They've got their mech coming out right now to the Enigma. On top of that, a Helm of Iron Will for QO. This completes his Dominator. Naga halfway to her Relic. Everybody's getting fat.
Even just small things like losing the entire Chen creep army. He has to rebuild everything. That was just a very one-sided fight and very ambitious from Arcanys to go in there. If they sneak in with the smoke undetected, it kind of works out. But MVP knew as soon as they walked in there, because they just kind of walked past in clear daylight. Some of the heroes were smoked up, but not the TA with the DD rune. TA gets the kill and then walks into Roche. Rocket Flare gives them perfect vision, so they know roughly the timing, or the exact timing when they still had vision of when Roshan was going to be in critical HP, and MVP just pounced. That was just way too greedy.
You know, I feel they saw the clockwork top, and they're like, okay, he's not level 6, and he's also showing on the map. They're not going to be able to fight without him, but as well as the kill they picked up on the Witch Doctor, but they were wrong. It took too long. And they did not bank on the Nagason. In the meantime, mid lane, Heinrich being chased out. The bash comes through. Refraction still cooling down. Couple more auto attacks. Not enough to get the kill. It does force out a Hand of God. And they'll now rotate in reinforcements. Gyrocopter on the prowl. Going to swing towards this middle lane. Has the call down at the ready. Deploys a homing missile, which QO will begin to work on. March wants to just slice it a tiny bit, but not able to get in range. So far, the off-lane Morphlane has been very quiet here. Did not stop the push in his lane. Has not really gotten much done since then. We saw Winter make a big show with this in the Phase 1 qualifiers, but that was with the Skywrath to get the most out of the hero.
Well, Arcanys now going to sort of look to group up themselves. This is fighting into a potential Aegis. Right now, MVP just not really fight ready. The Song and the Black Hole both on cooldown. They kind of know Enigma got pushed out of the, well, pushed back to base on because he got harassed down so much, and even the Troll kind of low in mana, not quite ready to fight.
They're going to try to hold this tower. QO comes back in, throws out the range slow. Now, Febby moving into position here. Drops the Midnight Pulse, does not have his ultimate. Nice call down. It's going to hit on 1, maybe on 2. Nuts. Doesn't get the second connection, but does hit the first call down on 2 heroes. At least preventing QO from chasing, but with the black hole at the ready, they group up and begin their forward offensive. They don't even have their Naga. Off in the bottom lane is K Phoenix. They're trying to just create space, buy time for him. And Arcanys, the team that needs to try and hold this tower.
Yeah. I feel like even if Arcanys are all inning to defend the tier 1 and succeeding, MVP are totally okay with that because this is, as you said, creating space for K Phoenix to get his Radiance up. That's the big picture objective here for MVP, more so than just taking this tier 1 tower.
Their troll ultimate, using it now with the Eidolons. Try and bring this puppy down. Last hit will go, and now a hook shot on forward onto Heinrich. March getting pushed out of the cogs by that adaptive strike. Still only level 3, though. Doesn't even have the max stun as of yet. Bach, also not even level 6. Man, he's really having a rough time of it. But yeah, there is a Naga in this game, and she's been ignored. This is not a great position for Arcanys. 5 heroes defending. Can't even hold the towers too easily. Radiant's going to come out at some point.
Yeah.
I don't really know what they do, GoDz. They don't have like that easy gank combo. The TA can't really do much against 5-man. And Gyro isn't particularly farmed. There's no easy pickoffs.
Gyro's not particularly farmed, and he's also just he's skilled up. This max homing missile build was very much for like a fighting high damage nuke. The setup from the Morphling stun, giving time for the missile to hit in a fight, does a lot of damage. It's like a 400 damage nuke if you get like kind of near max damage, but we're just not really seeing
like
the Gyro get kills.
There's your stun, and then, well, you hope the neutrals maybe come to your side. Bach running out of mana here, has 13 stick charges as Nuts continues to heal himself up. Now they jump in on Bach, black hole deployed. Man, he drops fast. That's support lane, or I mean, I guess he is a support lane at this point. He's just getting nothing done.
Yep.
In terms of net worth, you're barely ahead of his own Chen, who is just disastrously poor. Boombex, 3,000 gold and then some behind the enemy Enigma.
Well, everything looking great for MVP. They'll take the last tier 1 tower of the map in the top lane. K Feeney has his relic money as well as some money on top of that. He's defending the bottom lane with illusions. He's farming the mid lane with his main hero. He is well on track to about a 15-16 minute radiance at this rate. And the rest of his team are looking just as farmed and just as good a position for this mid game to be very potent. And it's not going to be, and it doesn't feel like this is going to be like a 35-40 minute long Naga Radiance game. This game could well be over in 25-30 minutes when that Radiance Boots of Travel comes out.
Boink. March will take a homie miss out of the face, but it's no matter for his team. Yeah, like you said, Radiance on the way. MVP may take their time to end this one, but it's not like there's a great late game for Arcanys to farm to. Later on, you've got the double black hole to worry about. A fat Naga with a troll at her side. Battle Trance, not particularly great, I would say, with Naga compared to other carries, but it's still just a good spell in general. Everybody's going to hit a bit harder and faster. And your Arcanys cores are fairly low-range heroes. The TA, the Morphling, the Gyro, Cogs, Black Hole, and Cask. These 3 spells are all very disruptive, not to mention Midnight Pulse.
And the guaranteed setup for the Black Hole in this song as well. Like we saw that kind of around the Roshan pit. Didn't ultimately go for the Black Hole off of it. I think they were too spread out and there was too many things to cancel it.
But later on he certainly could.
He'll almost certainly work on the BKB next. Bye, your Ogre Club.
Oh no. Mech popped. He's still surviving through this. He even drops the Midnight Pulse. Finally
took him
goes down.
A lot to bring him down, yeah.
Space created for the mid lane. QO happily pushing this one out. He'll TP, though.
Re-engage up top.
Heinrich able to force him back out as March will get stunned again. Death Ward coming forth. Dave gonna steal it. He wants to channel it from the backside, but he can't. He gets burst down. Now Nuts with the TP out. March pulling in Bach. Hook shot's ready if he wants to chase after this one, but he gets Centaur stomped. Now the Rocket Barrage stacking up as March is forced backwards. Bach angry for vengeance here. Can they get the kill? They do. One more auto tech bringing him down. Even getting these kills, though, GoDz. There's a Radiance complete. This Naga has yet to do anything aside from that Roche fight, which is exactly what you want for K Phoenix.
It's a 10k gold lead at 15 minutes. That is just not something Arcanys really have a lineup to deal with. They've got a kind of a 3 support lineup. Morphling fits into much more of a support initiator type role in the offlane. Doesn't farm like a Tide does or whatever your Batrider can farm in a jungle. This is just not a farming offlaner. Chen is just not even got a mech at this point. He's going to be playing a pure support. He's been buying more wards and support items than the Rubik has, so they've only got 2 heroes getting any farm, and neither of the TA nor the Gyrocopter are particularly getting good farm.
It's been a very passive and reactionary game from Arcanys. They saw their tier 1 go down bottom, then they try to take the enemy tier 1 top, but they're so slow about it that MVP take 2 towers. Then on top of that, the Chen never really made any moves in the laning stage until essentially the opportunity for kills was passed. Then when he tries to go around and set things up, he doesn't have the damage to get kills. We saw Dave just trying to help support his Gyrocopter in lane early, but they didn't really shut down that clockwork at all. It just feels like in general, not enough was done in the laning stage, and then they didn't have a good mid-game to fall back on. This Arcanys lineup just very reliant on snowballing, and it was pretty clear early in the draft they would need to be. Once they went for the support lane, Chen, Rubik, they were kind of blocked into that style.
And MVP is so far, it's kind of...
Well, off-lane lane, I guess, technically.
It's kind of evident right now that how far ahead MVP are, because they're kind of playing without a clear strategy. Not really in a negative way. They're actually making the most out of the map, but they're just splitting their heroes. Naga's just off farming somewhere in the map. QO's somewhere else farming. They could be taking objectives. They could be playing together more as a team, but ultimately, just getting more and more farm than their opponents. No one can really be killed or ganked easily. They're so far ahead that there's no real kills or pickoffs for Arcanys to find unless they go for a big 5-man smoke and take kind of a bit of a gamble. But for the most part, MVP can just keep doing as they're doing. They don't really need a game plan as far as taking gives. It's just force Arcanys to make a move, because otherwise Arcanys are going to lose this game.
QO into the Roche pit. Oh, nice cogs here, although Marshall's going to get tossed out of them. His own cogs working against him now. In comes Heinrich from the rear. They'll push Nuts back. My Nuts going down now. March taking a cast to the dome. So to his ace of spades. They'll lose 1. They'll lose 2. They may lose 3. Finally, Arcanys gets something. Perhaps they can even contest QO. He's going for the Roshan. Okay, Phoenix maneuvering into position. This Aegis is getting close to falling. They actually saw this move from the Naga with this Observer Ward. I think they get the Roche here. Is there any chance that they get punished on their way out? Oh, TA on the hunt. QO gonna turn and fight, even with the haste turn. Heinrich wants no part of that troll.
These are pretty low respawn timers too. Arcanys...
There is a glyph as well, but I don't think they have it in time to hold this. Maybe with a song. If they wanted to song, they could, but Naga not choosing for that. Just going to push out the bottom lane. They'll sack the tower. But, oh, 3 for 1. Or 3 for a Roche, I should say. As well as taking the tower mid. So, Arcanys coming up pretty even there. Maybe even slightly ahead, but with this Aegis on the troll now, MVP have so much more time to farm.
Definitely kind of goes back to MVP just kind of spread around the map, kind of a bit unnecessary. Like, that 3-hero unit that was top, like, they have a Naga farming mid. They can't be up there with their 3 weakest heroes. They need the troll with them if they want to be that deep in the map. They were well into the dire jungle with just Enigma, Witch Doctor, as well as Clockwork. They didn't have any damage. They didn't have any way to fight the 5-man Arcanys lineup unless it's like a 4v5 with troll. Then it works out okay. Then I feel like they can at least break even and trade kill for kill, but it feels like MVP just being a bit too greedy in some areas, but still remaining a pretty solid lead that it's not going to cost them just yet.
Chen army being recalled back to safety. They'll bring him back to the well, but not before losing one of his precious creeps. Now the push begins. They're going to group up. Maybe even bringing in the Naga. K-Phoenix swirling back to base. He's going to grab his Boots of Travel. Honestly, I mean, not that he has to, but I think they could 5-man with him pretty effectively, GoDz.
Yeah.
Arcanys are not good against 5-man. They have a Chen who's awful there. TA who's pretty damn bad there. Morphling who's at best.
They're not the tankiest illusions, but you send them in 1 by 1 and hit with a Riptide and some Radiant Stand, and you'll chip away at your opponents, and then should they try and engage as 5, you song, you set up your Black Hole, and you're looking good. I'm a bit surprised that I think Febby's making the wrong move going for a Blink Dagger here, because he's got the song set up, and there's just no real good way of dealing with a BKB Black Hole, unless Chen has an Ensnare creep.
He could also just be going Necrobook, but then you would probably buy some of the components.
Yeah, he may be just holding on to gold before he decides and makes a commitment towards an item, but BKB
I would agree. Blink seems like a very unnecessary item this game, if that's the choice. They get a bash on Boombax as QO surges in, gets the first kill to open up the fight. The call down, not really the best placement from Mighty Savior, but that is a good cast coming through, slowing down March, as well as his troll. Dave able to steal the cogs, dropping them. They'll get a kill. Now the black hole canceled instantly. What a terrible fight for MVP. Nuts trying to channel this high ground death ward, but Bach able to tank through it. They do end up losing their Enigma as well as the Clockwork. The Aegis also down. Mighty Savior barely able to survive through this. Naga finally swinging around with the song. Very late to the party. Should better get Mighty Savior, but not before Nuts goes down. It's 4 heroes dead. It's an Aegis to fall as well. Kate Phoenix may go down too with a gem. Oh my goodness, MVP. How the hell did you just let that happen? Arcanys get away with murder. Surging on forward. I can't imagine what else could possibly go wrong in a team fight. Team wipe, gem down, Aegis down, all cooldowns used as well. Every single big ulti. Oh, jeez.
Slop City, MVP, that was just not the engagement they were hoping for. Dave did make some big plays there. A stolen cask from the Rubik, and then he followed it up with a really nice cogs as well to bounce a few heroes around. And then he ends the fight by stealing Song of the Siren, which he still has for this push. Could use that as a defensive maneuver and may need to do so.
March hooks in, but it's not on the hero that can easily be controlled. Heinrich, however, has to be careful. The stolen song used. They want to get the hell out. The cask is bouncing a little too much, though. It just keeps on going. It's almost the full song duration. As the blink in from QO, quick bash. Maybe gets Heinrich. He's low and will fall in the end. They end a streak there. Now some recovery here for MVP, but this tower, 42 health. If they don't deny it, well, they may just go down mid again, GoDz. It seems like that's the call here from MVP.
I feel like
I'm not sure that's
they did everything so badly last fight. They're probably thinking like, surely this fight can't go worse than the last one. Like we messed up everything there. Like surely something will go right. We'll hit a hook shot. We'll get like Midnight Pulse and a few heroes. Troll's got a DD, which is some good news. But
they're gonna push.
The Morph Suns are doing some work too now. The problem is you've only got 2 heroes who are making use of farm. Even if the Morph is getting a lot done, you have to give him a solo lane just to get this XP.
QO getting stunned, then double stunned by that missile. Man, that does pack a punch, that combination. Any hero hit by that is just stunned for like 7-8 seconds. It's just brutal.
It's not fun. Troll needs a BKB to kind of play around that. And it has picked up the Yoga Club now, so gets that little option there. Heinrich's managed to farm a Desolator for his TA. So
Yeah, this could be big.
Good damage.
Again, they've got the double long duration stuns. If he finds heroes on their own, they're going to get popped. But where it's tricky is if MVP actually hit any of their spells, really, a good cask, a good cogs, a good black hole, or even just a timely song to disengage, that TA is never going to be allowed to right-click.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, we saw last fight, even if they have the potential to shut her down, it does come down to execution, something VP can't get sloppy about. Sure, they're up by close to 10k here in terms of gold, but we saw how quickly that could change with one bad fight.
Yeah, they have a bad fight, and then they kind of go back to some more stable play and get back to that 10k lead, and probably be looking to use some more standard Naga split push. And we're gonna stolen sleep.
It was about to wear off, so he's probably just gonna cast anyway. Dave will get hooked though. Can he drop the lift? Oh, call down coming on through now. The Blake. Where's that black hole? Actually got insta-canceled again and stolen! Dave with the plays! No, not good enough. The song's there to bail them out. That could have been so ugly. Oh, nuts. Tanking a heavy dose of rockets. Will be forced back in the end as
no one's allowed to black hole, apparently.
Febby is just not having a fun time here. He'll end up going down as well. It's not as though it's not enough that he's just completely decimated in these fights. Now they have to kill him too.
Well, I guess just an Enigma for that's it. 1-for-nothing trade. You black hole cooldown for I guess a black hole cooldown. Rubik may just hold on to that for a bit longer, but the gem being on that Arcanys side still really helping them out. They're getting some dewarding done. Naga illusions though all over the map, getting farm, split pushing, and that's something Arcanys still do not have the best answers to.
It's only a level 1 spell still. You can't actually use it a second time, so. Dave will probably be looking for another spell here.
No more black hole for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit that black hole right there was better than anything we've seen out of Febby this game, even though it did get canceled.
Yeah.
It's been a tough game for him, and after these last few fights, I mean, he just has to get that BKB. Then there's only the Rubik stealing black hole or hookshot, or net, I guess. 3 spells, but not particularly easy spells to steal, and then using them against the Enigma.
And if Rubik likely to steal the black hole during the BKB cast, but he's very unlikely to cancel it. Like go
You
in.
have to like blink behind him and hole him, which
Yeah.
is not that easy.
And by the time you do that, you've got at least half of your black hole duration off, maybe 2/3, and there's a good chance you've kind of done enough kind of crippling damage during that time. But we'll see. Dave's going to pick up a Ghost Scepter as well, so any chance of a blink or a Force Staff, some mobility item from him is going to get slowed down immensely, which makes his life a bit harder as far as getting those big spells and using something like a black hole in a team fight.
Well, GoDz, how much of a shot do you give Arcanys later here? Like, I feel it just the only way they take this late is if either MVP throw, or there's some big plays from Dave. Well, speaking of, I don't know if I'd call it throwing, but things going Arcanys' way. They're just gonna find that Enigma off in the tree line again. Febby biting the dust.
There's a lot of freebies.
Yeesh. 1 in 5. After all the towers and momentum they had, he's just not getting the job done.
Yeah, I'd be really concerned for Arcanys because they only have these 2 farming cores in the gyro of the TA, but same time, Febby's kind of fallen back way further than he should be. He's ahead of the Morphling, as is the Clockwork, but it's just not quite the level of farm you'd expect an Enigma to have. The 5 deaths, the kind of low impact from Febby has not been his game here on the Enigma, but we'll see what MVP's next move is going to be. The Naga Siren is just on track to keep on doing Naga Siren things, keep the split push going, and can even start looking to itemize in ways that she can directly fight and counter the TA especially. Get like a Butterfly Diffusal type build. Manta Style already completed, so get these items where you can actually fight a TA kind of head on.
And TA does not deal particularly well with the Naga later on. Your Psyblades do not splash to the illusions, and just not particularly good at clearing them out. The only hero that's going to be able to deal with them is the Gyro, but of course the Naga can just keep on summoning the armies. If you don't want to fight, you can always just rat, which we're already seeing more and more now. Illusions towards the top side of the map. The ones mid get cleaned up, but it just feels like MVP have more ways to take the game. They can rat, they can team fight. If they ever do get their combo, it's game over for Arcanys, at least for that engagement. Still, Arcanys could win this by pure outplay, which they've had a few of already. Not going to move towards that Roche pit. Here we go. Blink in from QO. He's just going to BKB and try to go straight in. Hookshot. They get nothing but Chen creeps. March seems to have trouble avoiding these things, as he will push the Centaur back. The cast continuing to bounce. Now, on the way out, BKB, Deso TA roars in. Blink in from Febby. He gets stunned. He's going to die again. Febby, please, you got to do a little more for your team here. Now the net from K Phoenix. Dave there to greet him. Steals the net and tosses the song out. K Phoenix just going to back on out of here before Dave can stop him. They want to cut the bleeding. In the meantime, there was a Death Ward that takes a lot of the HP away from Mighty Savior, but he gets back to the well. He'll be able to heal himself up and will survive through the Maledict.
Yeah, they're out.
Febby even bought back after that. This is just, it's like
They better
3
get into
deaths in a
Roche.
row with a buyback.
They better get
And
in
giving
there.
up a stolen black hole as
Morph's
well.
in a perfect position to just instantly cancel a black hole, though. He knows that there's a blink black hole, and he's just going to be ready to cancel.
Well, they get Heinrich up on the high ground. Kind of an awkward position for him to be in.
Febby.
As the bashes start coming out, boombacks taking a lot of auto attacks will end up going down. Dave surrounded and getting pounded here in the river. May end up falling. The black hole finally used.
I guess
Gets Bach, who just walks away. What is
not the
going
black
on here
hole.
with Febby? Just continuously not finding openings for a team, and it's costing them. They've lost 1, make it 2. Febby watches from the high ground as QO dies as well. Now they're forced to buy back on the Naga. That's the 2nd. They get the 3rd buyback for the Radiant team in this engagement. At the same time, there are 2 coming from the Dire. Both teams are spending a lot of gold. Roche still a little too healthy for a Naga to bring down. Oh, man, I hate to keep on singling out Febby GoDz, but this is just really hurting them.
It's been not the best execution from him, and they're not going for the BKB, going for the blink instead. The blink just doesn't... The Morph is always going to be sitting outside ready with his blink stun. You're never going to catch Morph inside that black hole with other heroes. You're only catching the Morph if you do a black hole like that, and that black hole accomplishes next to nothing.
They have traps in the pit. Maybe they try to snipe the Aegis. TA jumps
play.
in, is going to end up grabbing it. Also gets the last hit on the Roche. What a play by Heinrich. He may die twice for this, but still, it's worth it, baby. It's well worth it.
The clock almost got him with the hook.
Oh, he
gets
blinks
the
out?
blink?
No, oh, that
Okay.
first hit bash.
The clock tried to hook him, but like hooked just after he
Oh,
blinked
look
in.
who's been caught again.
Is it my boy Febby?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's dead again. This
Not
is
just him, he's led.
I feel like
I'm going to blame him for Nuts' death as well, LD. I think that was also Febby. You know? Nuts is there with him, and Nuts is a poor, good, innocent little boy from Singapore, and he's misled here.
I feel like that one's on Nuts for following the,
Yeah.
the guy who's having such a rough game.
Febby had a fantastic game one on the Skyraz Mage, but this has been a
lest we
affair.
forget. This is only one game, but it is a game he would like to forget as quickly as possible, whether they win or lose. Well, TA does steal the Aegis, but and the Roche kill. Amazing play, but it's still a dieback on the TA, so not really a huge win for them.
Yeah, I don't know who won that. Last like 3 minutes of play, who actually won?
Look at these kills and just trades over that little...
It looks like Arcanys slightly coming on top. They get the money advantage out of killing Roshan, and a few more buybacks were used on the MVP side. I think it was like 3 buybacks to 2 with Troll as well as Naga. The Troll and Naga both carries, and then on top of that, the Enigma. For the Dire side, it was the Chen and the TA.
So and Vizrin up on QO. This should be a very easy kill on Boombacks. Just needs to wait until he stops moving so he can ensure he gets those maximum auto attacks up. Nope, never mind. Just sees which direction he's headed. Couple more. Oh, slow axes. Down you go. Back to the well, Boombacks.
Nice little pick off, and no out of towers to kind of look to take and siege, but at the same time, I don't know how much MVP want to be trying to team fight right now. Things have not gone too well for them when they've grouped up and tried to take engagements.
QO now with did get the cheese, by the way. We never mentioned what happened to that. Didn't actually realize that was Roche number 3.
Yeah, I thought it was number 2.
Yeah, I guess that first Roche was pretty early.
Oh, Heinrich. Ooh. Almost gets caught out there by the Troll. Actually blinks the high ground, going for just some backdoor action.
QO. He's like, I am going to win this game by myself. You guys can try as hard as you want to throw it all away, but I'm just going to go roaring in, all on my lonesome, start laying into the tier 3 bottom. Brings it down to almost half HP. You know, as bad as these fights are for MVP, just hero matchup-wise, it's still so tough for Arcanys.
Yeah.
Dave has to continue to make plays.
And Naga's just going to keep on getting more and more farm. It's a Heart of Tarask now, so pretty good survivability on the Illusion, some good bonus HP, but I still feel the Butterfly is going to be very important against the TA. TA, though, likely to kind of even start now, considering the MKB and work on that, knowing that Butterfly's a natural pickup for the Naga.
Heart is now out on your Naga. Jeez. K-Phoenix is getting there. Is the leader in net worth. At the same time, the enemy Gyro for Mighty Savior. Normally, Gyrocopters who aren't leaving their base too much are not this close, but he's 7, 1, and 10 compared to the Naga's 3, 2, and 4. Sure, the Gyro is meant to fight more, but it's pretty rare to see a Gyro fight this much and die this little.
Yeah.
He's keeping up surprisingly well.
Continuing, his early game farm was just like decent, and his skill build wasn't really catered to farming. He is absolutely on point right now. We'll see what the next move for Arcanys is going to be, but it's kind of reactionary for them. From start to finish, it's going to be reactionary Dota until they really get on even footing, which is not yet the case.
They're moving down the mid lane. Smoked up, Febby, QO, March, and Nuts. All 4 prowling the map together. They blink forward with Febby. He's going to reveal this one. There's a BKB on the Gyro. The only way they're going to lock him in place here will be with a black hole. This could be the opportunity, but no, again stunned by the Morphlane who's just having his way with him. Febby this time kept alive, though. Witch Doctor heal, as well as the mech. Now the blink. The black hole is the redemption at last for Febby. It looks like there might be no black hole steal from the Rubik. He ends up going down to the Troll. Now the chase is on. He's going to buy back instantly. So too will the Gyro, but Boomback's going to get run over. Dave only able to steal a Rocket Flare. That is not the spell that will turn this game around. Still, QO will die. They may have overextended here a little bit. Song comes out. BKBTA unable to chase any further. And K-Phoenix will scatter to the winds. Nuts! Ooh. This Naga just leaving her team alone. Oh, K-Phoenix may die. He's got no BOTs. It's a tough chase, though. They don't have a whole lot of oh, that morph stun.
4-second stun.
That stun.
KP would love to have a Butterfly or some evasion.
He's going to go down here, it looks like. Force Staff. They get the kill. It did cost them a Rubik and Gyrocopter buyback.
Still looking pretty good here. Heinrich has to be careful. There's a lot of damage.
There's no buyback on Naga. There's no buyback on Troll. Don't tell me Arcanys is just barreling down mid for a counter push of Rex. Can you believe it? Oh my.
5 seconds on clock, who can delay things a little bit here, but yeah, Troll, buyback still on cooldown. That's
it would have been incredible if they were able to take Rax, but that is just a little bit more than they can chew right now.
bit ambitious, perhaps. Well,
still,
the game is still anyone's for the taking. That he gets the black hole off, but that was a solo Rubik black hole. I don't know how much you value that.
That is progress, though.
Yeah.
That is definitely progress.
I'll take progress, I guess. Well, we'll see how much MVP want this game too, or if we're going to be going to a game 3, because this from the get-go should have been their game to win pretty convincingly.
I have to say, GoDz, after watching the way that Mineski played, Rave played yesterday, these teams are... Hell, even MVP Hot 6, I felt like, looked a little stronger than what MVP is showing this series.
MVP Hot 6 looked just really solid overall. There didn't seem to be any kind of inconsistent plays or sloppy plays, and that's a lot of what we're seeing kind of this game. It has not just been the Enigma. I think KP has had a few deaths which were maybe a bit avoidable. Definitely a bit unconventional to have to play against this offlane / support kind of morphling, but
yeah, March has been hooking the Chen creeps a lot. I think we've seen 3 or 4. Normally one of the more stable players on the team. I think the big standout player has been QO. His movements have been solid. He's been the one applying the most pressure. You just look at when he pushes into the bottom lane all by his lonesome. He's been the one securing them the Roshan, stalling to set up for the Roche steal versus Arcanys early game. I feel overall he's probably been their most consistent player this game.
Yep. Oh, well, I'll try and keep the pressure up as much as possible. KP just going to keep sending those illusions to lane after lane and try and prevent Arcanys from doing too much. They can be bottled up in their base for the most part. They can take limited farm in their jungle, limited farm around their ancients, and Radiant going to lose their courier.
Huh. Was that the...
I think it was taking out a smoke to someone. I'm not sure how that got caught, but the Chen creeps perhaps, but MVP not going to be too worried about that. Not really.
It died like over here, I believe.
Yeah.
Not really sure. Not really sure what killed it, but...
Oh, they see Heinrich.
Anyway, it does go down. He's going to blink out TP away.
As soon as they get vision of you, you've got to get the hell out of there, because a troll, BKB not going to help you against a troll if he somehow blinks on top of you. So Roche a minute away. 4th Roshan, Aegis and Cheese will be on it. Pretty important prize for the taking.
Look at this. This is a farmed offlane morphlane. All of a sudden gets that hex. I mean, I guess it is 40 minutes. Maybe he's not. He's not very farmed, but 2 and 15.
He's just been in fights, you know. He stays alive. He gets that kind of assist gold every single time, and manages just get farm after farm.
He's not farmed in like the traditional sense, but when you consider his CS, with the CS in mind, he's pretty farmed.
Yeah.
He's involved in 17 out of 25 kills. Well, MVP are feeling a little bit less comfortable now. That is for damn sure. They're focusing on pushing out the lanes, want to get that Naga Butterfly soon. No, actually, it's a Diffusal Blade for K Phoenix. Nice pickup versus the TA just to kind of control her in the fights as this BKB wears down. Also, Monoburn, great versus the Morphling. Still, the Gyro is about to get an MKB. This is a lot of damage that he can bring to the table.
Yeah, damage from him and TA, both being pretty potent here. Roche is going to respawn now and being pinged out. Both teams see it. There's a trap in there, as well as the Alpha Wolf for the Radiant team. And Fabi, careful. What are you up to? He sees the trap here, and does realize that Arcanys also know about the Roche respawn, as well as the fact that he was in there.
This Roche, this game has it in for
angry,
Fabi.
angry Roche, yeah.
He's like this far out of the pit, and he's still trying to swat him down. They are making their way towards that pit, though, dropping down the super OP high ground ward.
Going to look to wait as long as possible before joining up. Wants to keep both mid and top lane pressured, and that's where MVP will be able to get Roche for themselves much more convincingly if they can force TPs back to the top lane, back to the mid lane, to the base of Arcanys, and then they can quickly get into Roche. As Q is actually going to blink himself in. Oh, risky play.
He sees them pushing bottom, but backup's coming. He's already brought the Roche down to half. He's got to be careful not to leave it in kill range. Boombacks and Fabi are duking it out. Again, they just jump Fabi and murder him. Brutal. And they bring down that Clockwork as well, and well, QO's going to take this opportunity to walk back into the pit. In the meantime, the top lane, K-Phoenix, slicing down the Chen, even through the ultimate. The Roche is going to actually not go down just yet. It's QO who retreats out. They still continue to work on the Rax in the top lane. Actually, only a tier 3, not even breaking into the Rax just yet. Heinrich now says, oh, that's a Roche. I'm going to go for that one. Chen buying back. QO taking a homie missile. Will either have to BKB or just back the hell away as they chase out K-Phoenix. Has the song. Probably not going down here. Aegis now snagged by your Templar Assassin. The cheese going to Mighty Savior on the gyrocopter. And now the song. K-Phoenix just going to walk it off.
Well, some good strategic play from MVP. Just having the Naga at top consistently, trying to force rotations back, getting some good damage on the base, trying to give QO the opportunity to take Roshan, but Arcanys knew exactly what was up. They not only took Roche for themselves, but did deal pretty well with the split push up top. They take a lot of damage on their tier 3, but end of the day, that Aegis and Cheese was a very important objective for both teams, and Arcanys securing that for the damage they take at top, well worth it.
Yeah, they deny it to MVP. Of course, that's big, and although Chen dies and buys back, it's just a Chen, you know? At this point in the game, he's mostly here for the send back, maybe the split push with the creeps, if he can ever get an army again, although against Naga, they're probably dying pretty quickly anyway.
The good news is, Febby, he's got money for his BKB, and 150. An item he could have had probably about 15 minutes ago, but better late than never, especially this game where there's... If you get the BKB up before you blink in, there's limited options for cancelling it.
Yeah, you gotta pop it first, though. This Morphling has the Hex as well. Just if he doesn't BKB immediately, there's way too many ways to jump him.
So we'll see a Naga replicates being made as well. Another nice little thing you can do with the utility Morphling here in the late game is make replicates of that oh so tanky Naga. Use it just as a singleton Radiant split pusher. You don't get the Riptide, which is not quite ideal, but...
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess maybe Bach does transition more into a carry. He's got all the utility you could ever hope for. They're going to find QO, hex him up, call down coming through, following up with the Rocket Barrage. Febby blinks in. He doesn't have his BKB. It's a decent Black Hole QO, trying to make the most of it. It's not good enough, though. They get nothing out of it, and they've committed the Black Hole. They've committed the Troll. I mean, I do like that decisive play there. It's nice to see that Febby is not too reluctant after all the failed initiations, but... They needed a +1. If they have the Naga there, maybe the Witch Doctor, that could have been a 3-4 hero takedown. Instead, they get nothing out of it.
Nagas needs to split push these lanes. Creep skip the mid lane because this 5-man down the mid lane's coming soon. Heinrich has boots of travel, so he'll be able to defend top and then come in for the high ground siege.
All right, I have a Cloud9 vibe about this, guys. Let's check TPs for Arcanys. One on the Chen, one on the Morphling. They do have the send back as well, and the Rubik. So pretty much everyone can go back to base. So. Okay, they've got their bases covered.
Well, this mid-tier 3, very low. It's even being pinged out. They really want to try and get into the high ground, but good job by Arcanys to control these side lanes and not allow any of these creep waves to really push out enough for...
Is it possible that Arcanys is going to force that game 3? Song is deployed. Sending in the Illusion Army to start things off. Going to work on Bombacks here. Try and force them back a bit. The Illusion's doing heavy damage as... MVP are forced back. The hookshot comes in, catches out too. Mighty Savior has the cheese, has the BKB. TA hanging on for now. Your Witch Doctor channeling a nice Death Ward. Not good enough, though. It looks like Heinrich going to pop his Aegis as he drops to the Blade Mail Clockwork. But he's coming back for round number 2. Now looking for the initiation. Gets netted. Oh, no. Gets bashed. Will fall. And they haven't gotten the racks just yet. They will claim one, but this could be a route on the way out. K-Phoenix with the net cooling down soon. He has a Manta style, maybe able to dodge this homie missile. Also the net available. Out comes the net, but the missile going to connect. Now tossed back the other way as the BKB troll goes in. Gets one, looks for a second, gets the bash, gets the kill. It's a triple for QO. When the dust settles, they lose a melee Rex. They got to get something now. Buybacks available. All 3 heroes that are dead, and all 3 may well be forced to use them.
Naga now going to be probably TPing in to try and get a counter Rex in the mid lane. Has money for what looks to be an Assault Crest. Picked up a Talisman earlier on, but as soon as Naga saw that MKB on the TA, stopped building towards the Butterfly, and it looks like we'll be going towards an AC instead, which is a really nice move. You kind of force out the MKB, because TA would rather have a Daedalus than the MKB, if not for the evasion. So it's one of those things where you force out the MKB, then you get rid of the Talisman, and you buy the AC, and you end up in a better position.
Let's keep that between us.
What? That looked like...
Now that you said that, now I'm thinking it's a tactical pause, even though it's... I trust Kilo. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have some illusions. Top, have some heroes mid, but the buybacks have started to roll out with TA and Morphling both using theirs. The Gyro holding on to possible, but...
By the way, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Dave stole Battle Trance. That's a really big spell.
He could have stole Black Hole, but he chose the Battle Trance instead. It's I don't know, 50-50. The Black Hole.
I mean, the one he does have a blink, I suppose, but there's Song, Net, Bash, Hookshot, Cogs, Cask, Malefice, Black Hole. Oh, I guess not the Black Hole. There's a lot of spells to cancel it.
Blink in. The Hex comes out. QO.
I love how he's just running in while he's Hex towards the enemy tier 4 towers. He may pay for it as well. The Black Hole is available. He's going to channel it. Catches out to it. Stolen by Dave. He may be able to turn this around, though. The Cogs keeping Dave out. Could have been an amazing turn from him.
It's
Bach,
too late.
the only hero left. They've lost their Gyro. They've lost their TA MVP. One of the sloppiest wins you'll ever see, but a win it appears to be nonetheless. Chasing Bach back to the well, getting the team wipe. QO throws the team on his back. His Naga, in the end, finishes as the most farmed hero, but it was pretty much QO keeping his team in this game.
Yeah, walking into that Cogs, if he had Blink and just blinked over it. Oh, man, Dave almost came up big there in that last fight. He got in there once the TA and the Gyro were already dead, and that just was a little bit too late. I feel like it was a game that Arcanys didn't deserve to be in with a shot. They played it well, all things considered, but MVP threw away so many leads. Just kind of a very unconvincing play in general from the MVP Phoenix squad, but they get the job done. I guess end of the day, they're through the next round, and they can polish up their play for their next round of matches. They have a day off, and they'll be back.
And in their defense, it is a new roster. There's going to be some growing pains. Generally, that's what we expect, but it was sloppy. It was sloppy. It's a win.
Yeah.
They'll take it. They stay alive, but I got to say right now that top half of the winner's bracket looks a lot more stacked. I feel like if Mineski or Rave played this team today, they would just run away with it based on their performance yesterday. But that could quickly change with a good night of sleep and some replay analysis. I imagine they'll be looking these ones over.
Absolutely. And I think Arcanys maybe not their best showing today as well. Still kind of adjusting to things. Dave's only been playing with this team for like a week or two now, I believe. So both teams have potential, I feel, but haven't quite showcased that today. Game 1 was definitely very good from MVP, but Game 2 was, not quite what they want to be highlighting.
Not ideal, but a win's a win, folks. And, well, with that said, we complete our final 2 winners bracket round 1 matches. We've now got 4 teams that have moved along into the next stage of the winners bracket, which our producer already has ready for us. Beautiful. Wow. 5EVA taking on MVP. 5EVA definitely looked more solid than MVP, so I feel like MVP Phoenix is going to have a tough opponent in that next round. Rave Mineski will be your Pinoy showdown on the top side of the bracket. Overall, you probably have to say Rave are the favorites there, but Mineski played really well in that series versus Invasion.
I think, Rave and Mineski are the 2 teams to look out for. This could be a preview of the finals. I think whoever loses that series could well make a run, probably likely to make a run through the lower bracket, but you never know. Some of these teams like 5EVA just have that kind of X factor where they draft unconventionally. They're really hard to play against and draft against because of that. You never know what they're going to pull out.
We didn't even see Miracle play a real carry today.
Yeah.
He played
a Spirit
3.5 position Earthshaker and a
Spirit Breaker. Yeah.
You don't know what to expect with him.
It was bizarre, some of the stuff that he did, and it worked. That's the thing. That's the scary thing with this team. So while I don't think their play looked as dominant as some of Rave's play or even Mineski's play, but they're hard to read, so they have some upset potential. Well,
with that said, folks, that does conclude today's broadcast. And I suppose with that said, that's pretty much it. We'll probably throw a rebroadcast up there soon, guys. For those who missed it, VODs will be available at youtube.com/BeyondTheSummit.tv. Be sure to follow GoDz at BTSGods on Twitter. Myself, if you'd like, at LDDota. And, of course, at Beyond the Summit, guys. We'll have more action coming your way in about 12 hours? No, I guess it's more like 16 to 18 hours.
Yeah, whenever SEA comes back.
The America Phase 1 is over, but we'll have the tournament continuing soon. Be sure to stay posted to Twitter for all the updates on the schedule. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.